Alrighty, time to get started. It's 7:30, so here I am. Tonight's stream is going to be Palace of the Dead, and it's literally what Torghast should have been for anybody that's played WoW. Um, Palace of the Dead is optional content that you can use for leveling. You also can get mounts, you can unlock cosmetics, you can unlock all sorts within Palace of the Dead, but it is entirely optional. It's not really tied into your player power, although you can get tombstones from it, which is used to get gear. Consider it Valor and Conquest points for anybody that does play WoW. And realistically, it's just something you can get a bunch of friends together and go have a crack and see where you end up. Or you can try and do the challenge mode version of it, which I think is 200 floors. And at the end of that, you get a title, which I don't have, which is definitely on the list for me to do. It is something that I want. I believe it's the Lonely Explorer or something like that. And that's for soloing all 200 floors of the tower. So I will need a lot of practice before I get to that. But in the meantime, let's get into the game. And I haven't checked to see if it's actually picking up my game here, so this could be quite fun. Let's see how it goes. And nothing. Oh no, there we go. Yep, we've got the game in. This is my own attempt at a Red Mage glamour. Made it a bit different, tried to make it a bit more like Highlander friendly. And for those of you that watched the PvP stream the other week, this is the exact top that I bought from doing that because it just looks awesome. It looks a bit less flowery, a bit more down to earth. The gloves are from the tanking set, and I wanted to try and make them look like proper gauntlets. But unfortunately, you can't get a proper gauntlet for a caster. Disappointing. I am just waiting for Ban to give me a heads up because he's going to be coming Palace of the Dead with me tonight. Palace of the Dead is in South Shroud at Quarry Mill. Hence why there's a lot of people down here. These people will all be using it because it's very good to level your early classes, particularly those classes that start at a higher level, like 30 or 50, because you can take them down to level 1 and learn them as you go, which is really good, to be honest. It stops you from feeling overwhelmed with your class, which is something that can happen. Anyway, I'm just waiting for Ban, so I'm kind of rambling at the minute, but I'll show you Quarry Mill. And you come down here, and this is the person that you need to speak to enter Palace of the Dead. You need to be, I believe, level 15 to unlock it. As far as I know, that's where you need to be with it, which is quite early on, but then after that you can use it for any level. You can see that it has its own attack and defense stats, and you get those from chests within Palace of the Dead. So you can see that my arm's 44 and my chest is 59, so that gives me certain armor. So the actual gear that I'm wearing now, I'm item level 496, which I'm aware isn't very high currently, but I've also not been playing a lot. But it means nothing if I go into Palace of the Dead, so to prove that, I'm going to go in a glamour that I set up earlier today, and I'm going to do it like this. We're going in beachwear. Ah, yeah. So I'm going to do it in this, to prove that it has its own armor gear, because this is all level 1. It is literally just, apart from the sword, which obviously it's my sword, but when you get both of those attack and defense stats maxed out, you can trade it, and that gives you a weapon basically it used to be of a very high enough at least item level to compete. You also can trade to these people, so this is where you exchange your artifact, and you need to be of a certain level to be able to do that on both of them. I can't remember what it is. I don't really want to click it in case I do end up trading it and I end up with nothing and I've got to start again, because that would annoy me. And I would be that guy. No, sorry, you exchange your artifacts, that's fine. They're the things that you can find within here, and you can use them to get, like, toys, a mount, music. That's pretty good. It's the Aether Pool gear. It's that one there. And then you can forge an Aether Pool grip, which makes it stronger, and then you can ask about Palace of the Dead. What were you trading again? Yeah, you get a Cursed Horde as well, and they can appraise it for you, and you get something at random, but I haven't actually got any. But if you find it, you can get, like, random items here as well, like potions that you can use in Palace of the Dead. Or you get things like fireworks, actually, which, for anybody that has ever been to a Haven party, I am the king of fireworks. This is just what I hold on me at all times. I have an entire retainer that is just full of fireworks that I've gained from previous events. Just going to see what the crack is with Ban. There's another version of this as well, actually, which you find later on in the game. So in fact, while I do wait for Ban, I am going to teleport you there as well, because there's a second part to this as well, which is called Heaven on High. Which once I've done the levels enough of Palace of the Dead, I will look to do a Heaven on High stream as well, so you can see the two different versions of the same thing within the same game, and you can compare it to, say, Torghast in World of Warcraft. Which, honestly, Torghast in World of Warcraft is terrible. Anyway, so we need to do a quick teleport, and we need to go to the far east, and we're going to go to... I'm trying to remember which one it is, because one of these is underwater. And I think it's on Korra, so we're going to go to that one. And watch me be horrendously wrong, and I've got to swim all the way there. Which is a good way to waste 5 minutes. And, yep, I'm underwater. So instead, I'm going to teleport to Ankara. I'm trying to avoid giving anybody spoilers to anybody that is new to Final Fantasy XIV as well, so you don't really see it. But that building there is Heaven on High. And it is it came in the Stormblood expansion, so Palace of the Dead came in with Heaven's Ward, and Heaven on High came in with Stormblood, and the whole purpose is you start at floor 1 and you've got to work your way up through the different thing, and each floor gives you torments as they are in Torghast, but they do it well here, and lots of things are hidden, and you can get items that help you out, and it really is like a roguelite, and it does it so much better. So anyway, you've seen where that is, which is a fun one. So, back to Self Shroud. I'm just going to chuck Ban an invite while I wait as well. Alright, Ban's joined the party. So I think we're going to 2-man this, so this is going to be quite fun. It's easier if you've got a healer, but neither of us are healing for this, so this is going to be hilarious. So Ban's going to be doing this because he's going to be showing you that you can actually level within the game, just doing this content. I'm genuinely surprised a little at how busy everything is tonight as well, with the New World release being today. But I have heard a few things about a few issues with that, and I did have New World on pre-order as well, but I cancelled it. I just didn't see myself playing it, to be honest, which is a bit weird. But I played it in the beta, and I think I played everything that I wanted to play in it in the beta as well. So we are going to reset my progress on this one. And now me and Ban are going to enter Palace of the Dead. We can enter with a fixed party or a match party. So that means that we can enter with just us two, or we can do it with randoms. Just gonna wait and see what Ban says. Oh, we go right. We can't enter now because he's decided that because I'm going in my casual shorts and a t-shirt, he's also going to be casual. So I've got a funny feeling Ban might turn up in a banana hammock. In which case, I'll have to bust out the most devastating glamour in all of Final Fantasy XIV. Which, if any of you ever watches Simon Miller on What Culture Wrestling, you'll know it's the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. So, we're just waiting for Ban. Again. And then we're going to go in here and see what happens. Hopefully, it's a bit of a laugh. I vote that it's just me and Ban, but I think Ban's back now, so we're going in. We're going to start on floor 1, because you can go floor 1 to 50, but every 10 floors as well. We're going to do a set of floors as us, and we're also going to go back and show you the matched one as well, to show you can get it with pugs. But this is the setup you get for here, and as you can see, I am quite literally casual as hell for this, in my short t-shirt and sunglasses. And Ban's joined us on it as well, so we're going in beach style. Doesn't matter that it's autumn, it doesn't matter that it's Halloween in 30 days. We're beaching this. So basically, the whole point is you run around and you've got to pick up different things, and you only get access to your level 1 abilities. So right now, the only ability I have for offense is Riposte, is my melee attack, which does no damage until later on, so that's going to be hilarious. You can find traps within here as well, so we've got the Pomander of Affluence, so that increases the number of treasures on the next floor. I'm just going to use that. Demonstrate it, you get this, and it is a proper roguelite, and right now, I don't have any range attacks as a range class, so I can see this going so well. Boom. It's dead. And as you go through, you can see I've got my own... I've leveled up to level 2. There we go. Now I've got Jolt. Now we're talking. Now I'm a mage again. But as you can see, you level up as you go along. And it has its own leveling within. And as you level up, you get your skills back and you start to learn your skills back. And you actually get to do it until you get to a max of level 50, or is it level 60 in here? You won't get all the way up in Palace of the Dead. You do get higher in Heaven on High, and I do hope for Endwalker that they bring this back, because, quite frankly, it's brilliant. You also notice up here you've got the map, and within the map you can't actually see most of the rooms. They're all hidden, and you unlock them as you go, which is another really good sort of feature. And I know they've got that in Torghast as well. Oh, there we go, I'm level 3. But I like the fact that it's its own unique leveling system, whereas Torghast doesn't feel like that. Torghast just lacks in my opinion in that regard. Now you can do a full clear of every floor, which I think me and Ban are going to do, because we've killed enough that the passage is available, so we can go into there and move up to the next floor if we want. But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep exploring. If anybody has any questions about Palace of the Dead or Final Fantasy XIV in general while I'm playing this, and you want to ask some questions, go ahead. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Which I'm going to point out, as I pointed out on Twitter to somebody today, I am in fact the man who disengaged off the platform mid-raid and killed myself. So bear that in mind. I do know how to play this game, obviously. Now you can get different pomanders as you go along as well, and some of them let you see traps. Flight, is that one to get rid of the monsters? I can't remember which button is it to bring up the Palace of the Dead. Was it? Yeah, we'll remember in a bit. I think it's this. That's my search info. Character button. Thanks, Ban. Yeah, so you get flight, which decreases the number of enemies on your next floor. But Ban did that as Dragoon, apparently. He jumped off the platform to his own grisly death. But as you lock it out as well, the Cairn of Return, that is how you revive. So you can have a character that has a res, like I have a res right there, but I don't unlock it until 64, so I'm never going to have it in Palace of the Dead. So me and Ban are doing this without a resurrection at all. And basically, here we go. Boom. Basically, the Cairn of Return is, say either me or Ban dies, I would need to run there after killing the enemies to bring us back, so it has a bit of an element of danger like that as well. And there are people that not just do to floor 200 on their own, they actually speedrun it, the crazy bastards, because that is just ridiculous. It's fun that I've got my Gorges back as well, but I don't have all my moves yet. What level do I get that at? I get that at level 10. Right, we need to get to level 10, and then I can start building and actually do some damage. But this is broken into 10 floors, and I know one of the things that I complained about Torghast to the people that play World of Warcraft is that it felt like 6 floors in Torghast was just you starting to get a run, and then it would kick you out. Whereas this gives you a break every 10 floors, and a chance to sort yourself out. So that's another Pomander of Affluence, so we are going to use that, because Why not? We're going to save the Pomander of Flight, because you save that until later on to make it a bit easier for you, because on every 9th floor, sorry, 8th floor, you want to use it on the 9th floor so you get through that, because every 10 floors is a boss. And every 10 floors, you get tombstones for doing this. So, if you are leveling as well, you get tombstones of poetics for doing this. You used to get whatever the max equivalent was at the time. You used to get that, and hey, I've got my ability to jump in, which I don't need yet. But you used to get the max level tombstones. So for example, I would have got those every 10 floors, and I could do nothing but Palace of the Dead and cap my thing for the week, which is normally 450, but because it's the end of the expansion and the end of the patch cycle, they up it to 900 and just let you go ham and gear up however you want, which is pretty nice. But instead we're going to get Poetics, but unfortunately my Poetics are maxed. Now if you were doing this really quickly, you would just go in because we've unlocked that, but we're not. We're going to show you around and show you some of the different features and stuff. Heaven on High is a significant jump in difficulty as well from Palace of the Dead. They add a lot more to it, and there's a lot more like Pomanders you can use, and we've used an affluence on this floor, haven't we? So I'll save that for the next one. I'm hoping we run into one of the traps actually, because they're really annoying, but I want to show you it because it's good to see. So I'm just going right now. Ban's job is to just sort of stand there and let me smash things. Did you stand on a explosion there? Because some of the traps all do different things as well. Some of them explode, some of them summon a load of enemies. And some of these treasure coffers are actually traps, so this could hurt. But no, it's Pomander of Strength, which, to be honest, I think Ban would most likely use that. It would help him a bit more, I think. Yeah, he stepped on a landmine. Which, again, I don't think you have passive healing. Or you can get some, like, you get torments on here that remove your passive healing as well, which is really annoying. But we're doing this without a healer, because I don't get Vercure until level 54, so we'll see whether I get that later on or not, and then I'll effectively become the healer of the team, and Ban will become the DPS. Right, so that is this floor done. And you can't actually move on to the next floor. If I was solo, I could. But you can't move on to the next floor until both of your party members, or however many party members, up to 4, I believe, in Palace of the Dead, are in there. I would love to see them do this as an 8-man raid style content. That would be so much fun. It would be ridiculous. But that's an Endwalker thing if they ever do that. You do get different treasure coffers as well. Some of them give you Horde. Some of them... I keep doing that and I need to do this. Thanks, Ban. Oh, chuffed, mate. Absolutely chuffed. Thank you. We're going to go with the Pomander of Affluence. So again, we're going to get more treasure as we go along. Sorry, I'm still chuffed at Ban. Ban's a hero. You get the Pomander of Witching, which is really good if you hit a trap and it triggers all of the mobs, so you end up a bit overwhelmed. You just hit that, it turns them all into a frog, an imp, or a chicken, which means that they do no damage to you, so you can then clear the room a bit easier. It's kind of a, not quite a get out of jail free card, but it certainly helps. So we're going to try this. We've got Intuition, which we are going to save, I think. But Intuition, oh, in fact, no, that gives us Horde. So we can now tell if there's Horde. There's no Horde on here. Okay. For the Horde, for all you World of Warcraft fans. Right. The whole... Oh, okay. Well, you saw a random enemy just spawn there at the back, which is good because we've leveled up. So now we can do actual damage. See, I'm already at level 8, and so is Ban, but all the enemies are level 4. Now, if, say, me or Ban dies and the other person kills the enemies, and Ban levels up to 9 and I'm dead, him bringing me back, I'm still level 8, and I'll stay level 8. So Ban could get 2 or 3 levels ahead of me by me dying. So you've got to be a bit careful of that as well when you go with your team. We've got Sight, which will let us see any of the traps. That's this one, yeah? All the hidden traps. We're going to keep hold of that one until later on because it... Oh, okay. That's me out of the fight, mate. You've got 26 seconds. Go and enjoy yourself. You might as well fight that antelope. I probably should have used the pomander. Oh well. Also, at some point in the stream, I am going to have to pause the stream slightly because I'm waiting for my wife to come back. She's out tonight. Can I hit it? Nope. I just stand here looking pretty. It's a good thing I'm in my shades. I feel like I'm a wrestling manager right now. Like, I could do this, but I'm just going to let ban. I'm Ric Flair. There we go. We all need some AoE on this, I think. Good thing to do it as a red mage as well is that you kind of get a lot of DP, particularly in Heaven on High, I think. You get a lot of DPS, but you also get healing. So you can kind of solo it a bit. Same as, you can do it pretty well on Summoner as well, because like Death Knight in WoW, you can summon like an entire army, basically. You've got your summons, you can have your pet out, so it will tank for you, while you can DPS and do a bit of healing, because Summoner also levels alongside Scholar, so you do get a cure. It's not great, but you get a cure and you get the option to summon Titan, which is a tank. So you're effectively a one-person team, which for doing Palace of the Dead's fantastic. But I'd still rather do it as a... Remember when I said we weren't going to use that Pomander? Do you remember? Because I do. It's going well. It's going well. You can see we do have our passive healing still because they haven't added any of that. I think you get that in later floors. I think that's after floor 50. I think up to floor 50 is like the learning phase. So you get, and also if you stay in the same team, I believe. Do you keep what you kill? So we've got another intuition which we don't need to use because we've already used it and we haven't got any horde on this floor. So now we just need to leave this floor because we've done it. So we're on. That's only the 3rd floor, so we've still got another 7 to go over this side. And I do want to do Heaven on High as well, but I might do that on Thursday because I think my wife would want to be part of that because she really does enjoy this sort of content, coming in with like me and Ban and a couple of friends and just being idiots. But the music has picked up tempo, so clearly the key change. It is go time, guys. Pomander and Witching, which is that one we mentioned before that wrecks everyone. What have we got on here? Sight, Affluence. We're going to use Affluence. We're getting so many Affluences. We're just going to get all the treasure. Hopefully we'll get some decent treasure. Right, we've got a Pomander of Flight, so that's going to make the last couple of floors a lot easier. Oh, that's it. I've got an actual thing. Right, is this going to kill us? No, but if you get those silver chests, you can either get items that you can trade for appraisal outside, you can either get items that you can trade for like mounts when you get so many of them, or it increases that count, which you can then trade. But mine's too strong for this, so I'm quite OP at this point for the lower levels. But when you get above, I think it's above 40 on each, you can trade it and you keep the weapon and then you can use it outside of Palace of the Dead. So it was an easy way to get like a sort of in between, like almost like a catch-up weapon for a different class, which is really good because that Aether Pool stays between classes. So if I was leveling, say, I don't know, I'm going to level Astrologer next, for example, and I needed a weapon for it because I didn't have one, then then I could use the steel. Now that's definitely for Ban, so if Ban wants to use that one, that increases his tankiness, so it increases his defense stats, and I think it's his defense and maybe his HP, just decreases the damage by 40%. So straight up damage decrease, which is great. Oh, Kobold, we got him, he's dead, it's fine, nobody's bothered. And we leveled up, so much for me stepping on the landmine. I totally meant to do that. Everybody knows it. Dual cast. That is another reason why Red Mage is so good at this. You get dual cast. So, as I say, you can hit that move there, and its cast time is 2.4. Oh, sorry, they're on instant at the moment because I've got dual cast on. But when dual cast's off, you can see that's 2.4, 1.92 rather. 4.8. So the goal with this is you hit your jolt, and you do that in like 2.92 or whatever it was, or 1.92. And is this leveling you up, by the way, Ban? Like in here, is it making you stronger? Because you'll notice you start doing more damage and you've got more health, the more of those sort of things we find if yours increases. Mine won't at these levels, but just for you. Anyway, we'll carry on. But yeah, because of that as well, it means that I can do a damage attack and heal myself. No, I don't mean your experience on your class, I mean your experience within here. Like, are you getting your Aether Pool increased? Is it like, your Aether Pool weapon and your Aether Pool defense? It'll flag up on here when it happens. It won't happen for me until we get to 51 plus. But these, here we go. We're starting to get them now. So I'm now blinded. So accuracy of all party members are decreased. So that could go horribly, horribly wrong. And I think we've got a Pomander of Safety, which you do need later on, because I believe that removes these. It removes the effects. Oh no, it just removes the trap, sorry. There is the one that you can get that does remove those, but I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, we are going to do this one, because I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to step on something again, and it's going to annoy me. Have we heard anything about the horde on this floor? No, so we're going to click on this again. And we'll go this way. You can see there, the glowy red circle. Now, without the Pomander of Sight, we wouldn't know that was there. And then this dumbass right here would go stand on it and blow us up or something. Yeah, it's level 12. But it levels you up really quickly, but it is a really good way to get to grips with a class. Particularly a class like Ban over there is playing Dark Knight that starts at level 30. I'm playing Red Mage, which starts at level 50. So if you are, as soon as you get the class and you've got all these skills and you have no idea what you're doing and you just sort of a bit like, which, if you've seen Josh Rife Hayes' video about quit moments and why you would quit an MMO. Right, Ban, we're both using those. Or have you've used one, so I'm using one. And I'm going to use that one as well. Because I'm feeling greedy. Right. I am now a machine. Let's do this. Yeah, the quit moments. Where you feel overwhelmed by what you've got to look at, and it can make you, like, if you come back to a game, like when I first came back to Final Fantasy XIV after a long break, and I was looking at my class and I was like, I felt like Gandalf in Moria. I was like, I have no memory of this place. And it was just a little bit overwhelming, and that can be a moment where you just think, nah, I'm out. But if you get like that in Final Fantasy XIV, you can come to Palace of the Dead. And Palace of the Dead resets your class to level 1, as you've seen. So I've had to learn how to use my moves from level 1 upwards, and I get to learn little bits of rotation and stuff. So it's a really good like introduction to your class, I find, as well as getting you like... At the time, it was endgame at relevant gear at the time, so it was like, and then it became good catch-up gear, so it was still pretty worth doing, to be honest, which I thought was pretty good. So we've got all of this Aether here and nothing to do with it. Well, we'll find out. You get potions as well, because you can use potions within Palace of the Dead. So because we haven't got a healer class between us, we can use the potions to get around that, which is pretty good. Nailed it. So there we go. Hopefully that's leveled Ban up a bit, because you'll see that when we first came in, the HP pools that we had were a lot closer together. Ban's has started to pull out in front again because he's a tank and he should have a lot more HP than me. So the stronger his Aether pool gets on here, like his armor, the stronger his armor gets, the more HP you'll start seeing Ban having. Till he looks more like he would outside of Palace of the Dead. So that's quite fun. You can also really mess with people on that little platform there and just step off it at the last second and not actually go up a floor. So we're on... Oh, there's Horde on here. And you see his HP there. It's gone up to 483, so Ban's got extra... he's got the extra defense on this one, So that's pretty cool. What have we got in here? We just got the hard. What have we got in here? We don't want to do that yet because we're only on floor 6. We're going to save those two as well for floors 8 and 9. We'll save that for floor 9. And we'll save that for if we run into trouble. So we're alright. We'll keep going. Oh, right there. That little like line of gold there, that is literally an X marks the spot. So there's a cursed horde there that we'll go pick up. And that gets us treasure that we can trade outside of here. And, yep. Yep, it always does that. But we can trade that outside of here for, like, extra gear and stuff, so that's pretty cool. So we've got another Pomander of Flight, which was the one that reduces the enemies. So that's good, so that gets us floors 7, 8, and 9. So the next floors, we can use those to just completely remove enemies. In fact, does that do it on the next floor or on this one? Yeah, so we're going to use one now then, because it's going to remove them from floor 7. So there you go, that's 7, 8, and 9, all lowered down, which is awesome for us. It's going to make it so much easier. Now, whenever you see a Hornet in this game as well, like, if you've done Cutter's Cry, which I believe was an optional dungeon in A Realm Reborn, I don't know if they actually made it. I've got AoE now. I don't know if they made it a thing, but Cutter's Cry, there's some mobs in there that do a move called Final Sting, which, for new players, if you're going in with somebody that has never done it before, and they're playing, and you're playing tank, so say we go in and Banner's engage the wasps, or the wesps as they are, sorry, not wasps, they're a big wasp. Oh, it's a toad. And I ignore them and attack the bat. The wasp will eventually do Final Sting, and Final Sting will not necessarily one-shot him, but if he's got any sort of damage on him at all when he gets hit with Final Sting, it will. It'll just kill him. It chunks you for so much health. It's ridiculous. Now you can see that these haven't glowed up yet, so we've still got a lot of work to do to be able to move on. And the only way you can move on because of those is you have to kill enemies. And killing enemies charges those. So you do need to kill a certain number of enemies. It doesn't have like pots and stuff that you can break because this is not The Legend of Zelda, and you know we're not destroying the jailer's pottery business. Right, we can move on. So because we've used the Pomander of Safety, that pretty much wrecks the enemies on the next floor. So there'll be like 3 enemies on the whole floor. It'll be great. It's terrible to level with, but it's like within this system, but it's really quick to get through, so it makes it a bit easier. So we'll go do those. So let's have a look at what we're working with here. Oh, okay, that one was a trap. You know what? Because I can. Haha. Now really, because I'm in Palace of the Dead, I should hotbar that, but I'm just lazy and I haven't. I like the fact that it's all battle music as well in the background. But once we get to the point where I'm over level 50, then I will be the one to go and do all the traps and stuff because I can heal myself. And Ban will start unlocking abilities later on as well because I used to main Dark Knight and I mained it for years. Absolutely years. It was my favourite class in this game. Dark Knight is tremendous at self-healing. Tremendous at it. So again, if you're going in as a tank in Palace of the Dead, something like Dark Knight or Warrior are pretty good. Okay, and we click this. Are we dead? We're not dead. Pomander of Lust. That turns you into a succubus. We're going to keep that because it makes you do extra damage. So we'll keep that for when we get to the boss floor. That'll be fun. Right, we need to go this way. Nailed it. Meant all of that. Ah. But as you can see, like, you don't get anywhere near as much. Like the torments in Torghast are just annoying. They're really annoying, right? They are. They're just pointlessly annoying. They don't make it particularly difficult. They just make it annoying. In here, between getting blinded on one floor, you can get status effects like that. That are a bit meh, but they don't really affect it overall. The game is still the game. And you get your little traps that you can't see, that are annoying and can kill you if you get it wrong. But it just feels more fun to do it. It doesn't feel as oppressive, like... And I think as well, like, oh yeah, my DPS is down there, because go me, standing in the crap, because I'm good like that. But it doesn't feel as oppressive as well, because it's not mandatory. And I can't stress this enough, like, making Torghast mandatory is the worst decision they made in Shadowlands. It really is, it's a terrible choice. Because it should have been this. It should have been this, but World of Warcraft's take on it. It should have been, get your friends, go for a bit of a laugh, go for an explore. You've got time on a Sunday afternoon, you've got time on a Saturday night, you're with the lads. Sod it, we'll all just go and do a Palace of the Dead run and see how far we can get. Because once we get to floor 51 plus, you can go as far as you want until you get out. You only need to do to floor 50 to get the maximum reward. Floor 51 on is the optional floors. And that's where you start getting like a bigger difficulty spike, and you actually need to pay attention to stuff. And taking out... And no, Endless Corridors was terrible. Endless Corridors, because it wasn't endless. It wasn't at all. It was... Did we use the thing? Ah, oh, bollocks, we didn't. Right, we done goofed. I should have used that on the last floor. Oh well. We're going to have more enemies on this floor than we did on the last one. Just means we'll be strong when we go into the final bit. But, yeah, like... Endless Corridors wasn't even endless. It was just the same crappy 6x6x6 leveling experience. And then they just made you do it more. They shouldn't have made it so that you only do 6 floors and then you've done a floor and then you go into the next, or whatever the crack it is. They should have just went, here you go, lads, away you go. Oh, man. As you can tell, I can never just sneeze once. I never managed to get into the beta. Now, I will tell you that. I've never managed to get into the beta in World of Warcraft, and based on the fact that I don't even have Battle.net on my computer anymore, I never will. That ain't coming my way. And that's fine. I don't really care. Because, Ban, do you want to use that? Because I already used one, so it kind of stays with us. Yeah, like... Games that I've played in beta... I have played a few betas recently of different games. I played Elion because I got a beta key off a friend of mine from a different Discord, a streamer, who on Sunday had an interview with Stephen Sharif off of Ashes of Creation, which, when he loads it up to his YouTube, I will put it in my Discord for people that want to see it, because it was very good. And I'm always happy to help out a friend. But he gave me a beta key to Elion for free, and I gave it a try. And Elion's now gone free to play, so I wouldn't expect that for a little bit, because they need to work all that out. Which means it's going to be pay to win as hell, because it is a Korean game, and that is kind of par for the course with Korean MMOs. What's around here? Anything? Nothing? Nothing. We're okay. And I also got into I also was in the New World beta. Not the open beta that it was now. I was in the one previously. I missed the... Might as well. I missed the open beta that they've just done because I was on holiday. And by all accounts, they've changed nothing in between the betas. And then there was problems within the beta, and they've released today, and they're still there. And I don't know if you saw, but people are referring to it as Q World. Because you can only have 2,000 players on a server in New World. So that's just not enough players for an MMO. Like, straight up, it's not enough players for an MMO server. I don't know what they're thinking with that cap, but it's busted the game to the point where people have, like, queues of 489 hours or whatever it is. Ridiculous. It's just utterly terrible. And I'm glad that it released, because the MMO genre needs something. It needs more. It needs a bit of love. And it's good to see that, but I would hope that a company like Amazon could do better. But at the same time, with Amazon's track record, Amazon Game Studios at least, it's good to see them actually release anything. It's good to just see them get something out there, because they've failed at every other game launch they've tried. This one here is just a basic treasure chest, so we get nothing good out of that. We'll get a potion, maybe. You get a Tuft of Phoenix down, which you can also use within here to resurrect people. I forgot to mention that. Now, you can only hold one Tuft of Phoenix down per player within the game. So even a class that doesn't... Even if you main only one class, say you only main Dragoon, Dragoon doesn't come with a res. So you can't res people in the open world either, but if you've got a Tuft of Phoenix down, you can. Now we're here at the boss battle, so Ban, if you want to use one of those Pomanders of Strength, I don't know if you have yet. I am going to lust for it. So, Ban, if you want to use the Strength, you might as well, because we lose it at the end of this, I think. Oh yeah, you're good on Strength. Alright, let's do this. I'm going to lust. Let's go! You can see that me hitting it with the... Yeah, you can see that it takes extra damage because I've hit it as the succubus, which is pretty good. I think you're right there as well, by the way, Ban, that Torghast in beta was fun because it was endless and you could make some ridiculous builds and just see what you came up with. But there you go. We have done floors 1 to 10 of Palace of the Dead. We have hit level 21. And eventually I will stop being a succubus. There you go. I am no longer a succubus. But there's a whole storyline to Palace of the Dead as well that you're not getting to see here. And it is really good. And I do think as well that for Halloween I might come back and do Palace of the Dead. But I might do it with a few people. We might also make it a Halloween sort of glamour competition. And also I will do it in fancy dress. So, it's going to suck, and we're going to fail miserably, but I'll do it like that. Now, when you get to the end of the 10 floors, you come into this little room here. So this person here is new. And you get the choice. We can leave here. Or, we go here, and we can continue from floor 20. From floor 10 to... So we go from 11 to 20. So, I think... Yeah, we'll do that. Because... I think we've got to get through this because in order to come back in as a match party, so we'll go with Pugs, for example, we'd need to leave, disband our progress on this, and then start again, but with randoms. So we're just going to proceed to the next floor. So we are going to get through floors 1 to 20. We might make it to floor 50, and then next time on stream we might do 51 onwards, but maybe get a bit of a team together. But that's when you start getting into where you can unlock certain things. Like, I believe in the Heaven on High, I think it was, the floors 51 plus, when you get to 150 something, you would get a Pegasus mount, like a Nightmare Pegasus, possibly. It was a potential drop there. And I believe that was selling for like 50 million gold at one point. So, yeah, it was definitely worth doing. But anyway, you can see we're now into different style floors. Each floor is like different themes. So this is like rock monsters. So let's have a look around. You can see the strength of the enemies has gone up as well. They're now like level 18 and level 19, which is good because we are making progression. Eventually it'll get to where they're level 50 and we're level 50. And I think that's where it stops. I think that golden tongue paralyzes us as well, so we need to watch out for that. Oh, I didn't even see them. Ah, what? Right. I think we can... Can we auto-attack? I'm going to stand closer. There we go. We're going to auto-attack this guy to death. So for anybody that's watching this, no, you're not watching RuneScape. It maybe looks the same. It maybe looks a bit more flashy, but you're not watching RuneScape. Let's auto-attack this guy down. He's got it coming. Ah, there we go. Right, we can move. Sounds like I was mocking RuneScape there. I actually enjoy RuneScape. It's a much slower pace for me, and it's a much more like leisurely system to play, but it's still quite fun. And I especially want to try old school RuneScape now that they've brought out the HD upgrade to it, so I want to see how that looks. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a stream probably on Sunday where I do that, and I'll show you the difference between the HD plugin and the non-HD plugin. But also, I'll create a character on that as well. But I'll do it all live on stream so that you guys can decide what my character looks like. So I'm going to be going in for a character on Old School RuneScape as chosen by the community that is watching me at the time. And I can tell you right now that is not going to end well for anyone. Especially me. I'm going to look like a moron. But it'll be fine. As you can see as well, there is a time limit on this, but it's like an hour, and that is not per floor, that is per run. So we've got an hour to do all 10 floors of this. And I do believe that might be Kirsty. I think it is. Right. There's treasure in this building, so you can see it on the map. We can try and get that. Ah, it's a toad. It's giving me Aurum Vale flashbacks. Ah, there's the treasure. I ran right past it. Right, between me and Ban, I think we've both gone through every drop on this floor. So it's going well. It's going very well. I'm happy with that. Hey, pup. It's going so well that my dog came to you know, be an emotional support dog. Right, we need to go this way because it's the only way we've not gone. Some floors are really long, some floors are short as well, so it varies. And you won't know until you get it because they are procedurally generated, so each floor is a bit random, which is quite good. Right, so we cleared this bit here, so we could leave this floor if we wanted, which you will see us do more of that later on as we get higher in level. But for now we'll continue, because it's good to a good strategy for Palace of the Dead, particularly at this sort of as you're trying to level up it as well, for somebody like to make it a bit easier on yourself on the later floors, is to power level, go through and clear every floor. You won't run out of time. You've got an hour to do it all, like the 10 floors. And you shouldn't get even close to running out of time on that. You know, and it gets you enough sort of an advantage that the later floors, where it is a bit tougher, become a bit easier, so that you can really start to power level, because that last sort of 10 floors can get you quite a lot of levels. So... like, did you level up outside of here from doing Palace of the Dead, by the way, Ban, on your Dark Knight? For the doing the first 10 floors? Because I know a lot of people used to like spam the first 10 floors just to get them... oh, Jesus. Just to get them through a bit quicker. Don't even know what that is. Marble card. We'll use that later. So you've leveled up outside of here. What level were you when you came in? Just to sort of prove the point. Had you played this at all? Oh no, you just unlocked it, so you'd have been level 30. So when we get out of here, after the the level 20 stopping point, have a look and see what level you are when you finish, and see how good it is to actually level, and we'll try and see if it's worth doing. This is gonna blow up. Oh yeah, actually I got a bonus there. In your face, yeah. You can see now that for whatever reason my weapon has changed. Like, it's now red. Whereas Ban's are toads, so you can't really see him. But Ban's is yellow, because it starts yellow, and then as you get stronger, and you get over level 40 on these, I believe, it changes to red to show you it's a bit stronger. Like, you can see Ban's is like a purple colour, and that is not because he's a tank and I'm a DPS. It's because my weapon is actually stronger than his. Like, because of the balance on mine. So, there you go, that's a fun little piece of information for you. Because you can get two different variants of the same weapon in here. You can get Ban's version when you get to 40 and 40, or you level it all the way up to 99 and 99, and you can trade it to Ban's version and then instantly upgrade it to my version, which is actually a higher item level as well. So it's just something to work around. Did we keep everything that we got in the last floors? I think we did. Huh. That's pretty sweet. Anyway, we'll carry on. Are you still a toad, Ban? No, he's eviscerated. That's fine. It's fine. We'll make it work. Commander of Fortune. We're definitely going to use that. I'm definitely such a professional that I know that this is on here. So, there you go. Fortune smiles upon you. Possibly. Well, it wants to. Palace Toad. Prepare your soul. Nailed it. But as you can see, you can imagine doing this solo. That'd be quite interesting, because you'd have to try and work around whether it's worth pulling a room or it's not pulling a room, or... And if you hit a trap and it's... if you hit a trap and it's the one that summons all the monsters and you're on your own, that's gonna suck. Row trigger 30% more traps, and I know it. Yeah, you do, because it's literally like the, oh god, I forgot what they're called, the cow people in World of Warcraft. The Tauren. Their hitbox is just bigger, everybody knows it. Although I would love to see a Tauren rogue as well, that'd be hilarious. I'd be on board with a Tauren rogue. Ah, landmine. Oh, trap. Treasure. Ah, we can't get it. Witching. Ah, well, we'll move on. Yeah, you can, and a good strategy to do as well if you've got 4 players on a map is to send half of your team one way and half of them the other to try and clear the map. Like, and then you can come back and help each other. And sometimes you've got to be willing to run around an enemy. Like, if you see a bunch of enemies, you've got to think, not today, and you can try and sneak past them because it's not worth taking them on. And yeah, it makes it a bit more difficult if you do that split up to cover the map so you can see which way you're actually supposed to go. It can make it a bit more difficult to do that later on if you happen to avoid enemies, because I could go one way and avoid a bunch of enemies because they're too strong for me to take on. And then the next thing you know, bands came running from the other side of Narnia, and suddenly we've got an entire trail of mobs coming after him as well, and that can really mess up a run. It's quite funny though. Hey, we've got a Commander of Steel. It's all yours, Ban. Which, bringing me back to another World of Warcraft reference, I was in Mythic Plus with some friends of mine, and we were doing it, and I was Dark Knight, and we were in Mechagon, the one where you fight the king at the end, and there's that big bridge. And this was when they had the pillars, and you could go into the Zoth realm and skip past everything, and you were supposed to do all that. Anyway, we died. Right, long story short, we died. But we came out of the pillars, and I'd forgot to dismiss my pet. I forgot to dismiss my zombie. And the next thing you know, my zombie came running up this bridge. And it brought the entire bridge with it into the bottom. And just straight up deleted us. Oh, it was so funny. This one looks like it's going to be quite a long floor as well, but we do know where the portal's going to be. It's going to spawn here, so we know we've got that. So as long as we know where that is, it means we can skip floor, like rooms, if we want to. Oh, I've got a big attack now. Life's just got good. And kaboom. See, I wish they'd added a few things into this game, like the slimes being weak against magical, but but strong against physical damage, because that is what they are in a lot of like normal JRPGs, which is effectively what this is. It's a JRPG with an MMO tagged on. And I would love to see them have added things like that, but I understand why they didn't, because it would be a pain in the ass to code that. So I get it, but it is a little disappointing that it's not the case. Do you want to go for a full clear on this, or do you want to just skip up to the next floor ban? It's up to you at this point. It's up to people watching as well. If you want to see us do a full clear, we'll do a full clear. If you want to see us just skip through it quite quickly, we'll just skip through it quite quickly. I'm good either way. We've got some Haws. Potion of Serenity. Which one's that one again? That's the one that removes all the ailments from the floor. Right. Oh, crap. I'm a toad. That's fine. You can sit in the voice chat in the Discord if you want. That's fine. If it's making it a bit easier for you to know what's going on, we can do that. That's fine. Right. We're just gonna skip. We're gonna skip because I'm level 27 at this point. We might as well, because we will be level 50 before we go. And Kirsty's hungry. In fact, Kirsty's here. So on this next floor, I'm just going to do a quick... We're going to do a quick 5-minute recess so that she can come through, because she doesn't want to be seen on camera. So we are going to be on stream again in 2 minutes, so bear with me. I'm just going to take a quick break. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. We've got the Pomander of Safety, which again removes all the traps. So we're going to save that for floor 17. Oh, that appeared out of nowhere. Boom. Can I do it? I can. Haha. But it threw me over a landmine and that sucked. Oh wow, that sucked. Yeah. I am a professional. I know exactly what I'm doing. And using corpse over there to dash at my enemy right over that landmine. It was all planned. It was all planned. What you guys can't see in the pie chat, Plan's like, let's save the trap removal, he says, and proceeds to hit every trap on the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. I think I've hit every trap on the way past. Hey, there's Cursed Horde there, we're gonna go get that. Oh, Ban's away fighting on his own as well. It's fine, we're soloing these. We are the strongest. Oh, would help if I was using my class right. Not like a dumbass. Oh, I didn't even... Oh, crap! Pomander of Witching Time. There you go. And that's how you get out of that. See, it's made everybody nothing. Oh, I've got actual AoE. I didn't even know I'd unlocked those. I was paying attention. So anyway, here we go. And in Endwalker, Red Mage is getting a lot more AoE as well, which I'm quite looking forward to. So we've got some more Cursed Haws. surprise, surprise, it's going to be fruit because, you know, you're not allowed to have flowers in video games. Here we go. God ban, who steps on a trap? Dun, 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 dun. I love the music in this game. It always just suits it, and it gets you like properly amped up. And one of the good things they've added in this is when you own a house or if you've got an apartment, you can get it's called the orchestral, and it's basically it's a jukebox, and you can lock the music for it from dungeons and raids and Palace of the Dead, and then you can play it when you just sat in there, so you can just sit and listen to the different music in the game if you want, which I think is a really nice touch. Particularly when you can sit and listen to Dragon Song, which if you've done Heaven's Ward at all, you'll know why that song is incredible. What are we working with? We're on floor 16. We've got 3 of those. One of those. Okay. Okay. So we're going to remove traps on the next... Have we got 3 of those? Then yes, we're going to use that now then. That's it. No more traps for the rest of this ban. We're saved well after this floor. This floor will hit every single one on the way past. Because we're good like that. I'm doing a terrible job as a DPS here, by the way. DPS just... When you're the tank, you get annoyed at DPS pulling as you go along. But as the DPS, you're like, aha! Attack go burr. If I did this in a raid or like an actual dungeon, or when it got a lot harder in Palace of the Dead, I would fully expect ban to just leave me to die, to be honest. And I quite frankly deserve it. On to the next floor. That was a nice quick one. And at least we don't have to worry about any more traps as we go along. So we're good for that. So traps again. Not today, Satan. All traps on this floor. Wait, that says all traps on the current floor, right? Nope, we're screwed. Okay. It's all good. The last floor, we might still have traps. That's going to hurt. That is why you should always read your tooltips. I'm loving that we're getting a lot closer to Endwalker as well. I'm really looking forward to that. I do actually have time off booked for that, and I probably will stream a lot of Endwalker, but I will try and avoid spoilers where possible, because I know a lot of people won't have caught up to me on that. We can't get Phoenix down. It's really expecting us to die, which with all the sort of traps that we've been hitting along the way, it doesn't surprise me. I'm more surprised that we haven't. Yeah, I'm surprised at how busy it is in Final Fantasy at the moment, just with it with New World's release being today. But as I said before, like with the servers being as they are in New World, people not being able to get in, queues been 400 and odd hours long. Because what kind of MMO in today's day and age sets the limit at 2k to get in? Particularly when they've had server issues in the betas as well, and they've just not rectified it. They just haven't, and it's just, it blows my mind that a company, $1 billion company as well, like $1 trillion company or whatever, like Amazon, they've got that back in, and yeah, the Amazon Game Studios hasn't been great and whatnot, but they're using all of Amazon's own technology and their own servers, and they own the servers that they're going on. And on a different note, like Ashes of Creation, they did their Alpha 1 like preview event and their Alpha 1 testing event on servers that are owned by Amazon. They rent the server space from Amazon, and they had literally like no issues with it at all, and people were getting logged in fine, and there were some issues within the world, like some rubber banding issues and things like that, but they sorted that. That was to do with the client and whatnot, but they got all that fixed, but they didn't have the server issues that New World are having. And it blows my mind that somebody renting servers from Amazon can do a better job with the servers than Amazon. Ban with the trap. He's got. It looks like Ban's trying to show you all how a death mechanics works. I'm more than surprised that it wasn't me. Ban's got some high potions. I'm calling it. This one's going to be a Phoenix down. Phoenix down for the win. Nope, high potions. I was wrong. As I have been about every decision I've made in this game so far. With the, oh, let's not use the one that gets rid of all the traps. It's fine. Stands on landmine. Kills us all. By the way, if you wipe in Palace of the Dead, it doesn't completely reset you back to 0. It resets you back to, in this case, it would be floor 11 for us. So whatever progress we've made now would be undone if we died. It would send us to floor 11, which, as we're on floor 8, is annoying. So when you get into Heaven on High, which is a lot harder, which we will do, it can get a bit... Oh, Mimic. It can get really annoying. Because I have had it where we're on floor 9 and we could see the boss room, and then one of the FC mates noticed that there was some enemies and he ran to it, and it spawned all of the mobs and it killed us all. And we've all done it. We've all done, especially me. I'm surprised I've not done it in this run. Ah, look at that guy. He's like a plant Gandalf. Oh, I didn't want to press that. My rotations have gone to hell in Palace of the Dead. It's fine. We're making it work. Mini mobile. Which... Ah, there we go. It's alright, Ban. We've only got one floor left, so... Right, there's no halls on here, so we're going to the next floor. We've only got one floor less, though, so that means there's no traps on the next floor. We're done. Hey, Puff. Oh. He says as he steps right on another trap. Yeah, no, it was me. It wasn't Ban. Yeah, you just assumed it was Ban. No, this one was me. This was all me. Yay, there's a cursed horde on here. Got some high potions. Right. Commander of safety. Traps are gone. We're good. We've got no more traps. What else have we got? Anything that's fun. We've got no reason to use that. Or that. We'll go with this. So we're going for the treasure. Now I can't remember. Do the commanders that we pick up, do they counting between the floors. You know, so if we get to floor 10, we'll be able to use them on floor 11. If you want to pull all of these, by the way, we've got the Witching Pomander, so we should be okay with that. And we're leveled up, so nailing it. We're absolutely ruining these guys. Coming here thinking they can step up and actually be cool. They're not cool. They're plant people. I don't mean vegans. Oh, marble. Right. Wrecked it. So you get bad breath on a marble, but then you get the seedling, which is basically a baby marble. Do they just have like slightly bad breath? A little bad breath. Potion of... what does Serenity do? Removes all enchantment. Again, we've got no enchantments on these laws, so I'm not bothered. So we're... hey! A Cursed Horde. Do you want to go again and have a... like, we'll finish this whole floor because we've got rid of the traps and we don't have to worry about that. And then we can go into the boss room at level 35. Just give us a bit of a little bit of an extra advantage. So yeah, like as I say, you can see me and Ban running around in shorts and t-shirts in here, and that's good because it means that even if you're coming in a base character that you're just leveling up, like you've picked up a new class, and I think you can come in here at level 1, can you? On a new class. I think. If that's the case, you can come in level 1 gear and nobody's going to care. Because... You think you can? Yeah, it's because of the independent leveling system. You can come in here at level 1 and it'll get you all of your skills up to like level 50 or whatever it is you can get it to in Palace of the Dead. So you can fill out your hotbars so that you know where your rotations need to be and whatnot. Yeah, you do. You've got an hour to do this. We've been messing about and we've still got half an hour to do this. But yeah, you can like set up your hotbars and stuff, because I have done that with other classes that I've been learning, which is always good. And it also levels up the class while you're learning it as well, and it's quite a quick way to do it. You can see we've got 30 minutes to complete 11 to 20 Palace of the Dead, which has definitely taken a lot longer than floors 1 to 10, but that's because floors 1 to 10 are really easy. So people used to do floors 1 to 10. Was that in Heaven and High, or was that in Palace of the Dead? And they would just spam them repeatedly because it was the fastest way to level up at the time. It was ridiculous. Anyway, what have we got to work with? Anything on here that's good? I don't think that works on bosses. But later on you get ones where you can like summon Ifrit and he just murders everyone. It's great. Anyway, we're gonna go... That's in Heaven on High though. Yeah. I'm Red Mage. Alright, Ban, you ready? You are the tank? No, it's Dark Knight. Here we go. I don't have my disengage, which is a good thing because I'd find a way to disengage off the side and kill myself. I'm good at that. It turns out, right, those pomanders that we've got, I think you need to stun that. But those pomanders that we've got, you know, like your strength and your... Okay, we need to kill the hornets because they're gonna... both attack Ban, which is good because he's the tank, but also bad because they will do Final Sting, as mentioned earlier, and Final Sting hurts, especially when you don't have a healer. Oh god, this thing really loves just chucking AoEs at me. Now, people complain about the 2.5 second GCD in Final Fantasy XIV, and I get it, I do, particularly when you're starting out. But as you can see, when you're having to dodge mechanics every like second or so, that 2.5 seconds, as well as weaving in off global cooldown attacks, that 2.5 second GCD, it's not that long. It really isn't. So yeah, it's not the 1 second of World of Warcraft, but I don't think this game would do very well with the 1 second GCD from World of Warcraft. Yeah, I'm just ignoring the ads. See? We don't need them. I am marked as prey. Had none of my roll skills on bars. That's fine. I'll be honest with you. I often forget to do that. In fact, I'm going to have a quick check because I can't even remember some of mine. Actions and traits. Do I have them actually on? Roll actions. I've got Addle, which lowers the mind. I've got Shuacast, which means that I can't get... basically, I can't get interrupted, which is nice in PvP. Which, if you recall back to the PvP one that we did last week, I didn't use. Professional. I've got Swiftcast, which is the greatest healing spell of all time, and Lucid Dreaming, which restores my MP when I run out, which is really only useful in a red mage when you die. So let's get this party started. So we're just waiting for Barn. He's got some he has some cutscenes he's got to get through, so we're just waiting on him. If anybody's in the chat and you've got some questions that you want to ask while we're waiting for this, just let us know and we'll answer as we go. If you want to see us try something a bit different, we'll do that. I'm down for whatever, really. I just hope you guys have been enjoying it. In fact, Ban, I have about 10 minutes left of the stream, realistically. We're going to go into the next one, and we're going to try and do a floor, but we're also going to... We're going to wipe. That is going to happen. We're going to make it happen. I'm going to show everybody what happens when you die. Sorry? Yeah, 2 seconds. Sorry about that, my wife doesn't want to get seen on stream, so I had to let her get back upstairs, because I am going to be moving my computer in the future as well, because where I am right now is the front door's right behind me, and you can see the stairs, so anybody that's coming or going, you can kind of see it. But I'm going to move it upstairs out of the way. It's just the Wi-Fi in this house is a bit crap, so I'm going to be running a cable down, and I'm going to basically try and put the cable up above everything so it comes down and nobody will be able to see it, so it'll look more like a feature. Maybe wrap some lights around it or something, make it look a bit pretty at Christmas. Don't know. But it'll give you guys a bit of a better background than my door. And hopefully, hopefully it'll just make it a bit easier for me as well. When I have my own dedicated sort of stream space, as opposed to at the moment, I'm just doing this in the front room. So, and because my wife got back a bit late tonight, she was away getting her nails did, which I still haven't seen. I'll see them when I finish this, because she will show me them. She had to come in, obviously make herself some food, and then she's run upstairs to stay out of the way of this. So she can watch Great British Bake Off, because Bake Off is life, apparently. So, hopefully, Ban is ready to go. So me and Ban are... Well, Ban's level 31, so you can see that he has leveled up from this. I'm level 80, this guy here is level 33, so you can see that you do level up from doing this. So that is good. It used to be a lot faster to, as I say, just do floors 1 to 10, come out, floors 1 to 10, come out, floors 1 to 10, come out. And it used to be the fastest way to do that. And you would do that on repeat, so everybody was just doing that. It was really weird to see. Right, I'm just going to queue us, and hopefully Van is back and we can give it a go. Because of the time delay between my stream and the game as well, like, things happen for me at the same time, so I'm talking while I'm doing stuff. But Ban, who's also watching the stream, who is also in this party, there is a time delay between me talking and him hearing something. So if I say we're going to go one way, you can often see Ban run completely the other way. And it's because there's a time delay. So I don't think he's back yet. But we are going to finish this whole stream off with a big wipe. I think we're going to go for that. I think that is the best way to do this. And obviously it's for education purposes at all, and not just because I'm shite. I've also heard that in old school RuneScape as well. Just as I was looking on Twitch there, I saw somebody I know that was streaming it. They're bringing out Group Iron Man, and that sounds so interesting to me. Like, you basically get a group of 5 players, and you can only trade with each other. And there's a few other sort of stipulations as well. So you have to sort of spread out your, like, somebody's going to get all the herbs, somebody's going to do potion making, somebody's going to be mining, somebody's going to be crafting, you know what I mean? You've really got to do all of that, and you might just turn everybody else into like a gathering like factory, and one person just goes out to fight, or you can all go out as an adventure together. And I think you can trade people out of, like, you start off with your 5. I think they said they're calling it prestige. So if you've got your 5 players and that's it, they're your prestige team, and you can trade people out. So we could drop, say, I could drop out of the team and they could replace me with somebody else. But they do take a penalty for doing that. And the way it's all sort of set up, it's a load of like rules that you sort of impose yourself on it. And it just sounds so cool. It's definitely worth having a look. Right. Sorry about going quiet there. I was just checking. I had a Discord message. So yeah, as we're doing all of this as well, for everything that you've seen so far in Palace of the Dead, let me know what you think about it. Let me know how you if there's anything as well that you want us to do, not necessarily just in Palace of the Dead, but in general. I have a link to my Discord server that I've set up for this channel. It should be on Twitch. You should be able to see it in underneath the video where my description of me is. If you want to join that channel, and you have any sort of games that you want us to play or anything like that, let me know and I'll do it. And hell, it can be anything. It can be, we can find an emulator and do Mario Kart. I would love to do that. That would be incredible. I would play Mortal Kombat and get my ass kicked, or whatever it is, like Street Fighter. I'd be more than happy to do those sort of things. Or if you want to chill and we'll talk and we'll do a just chatting episode, or we can watch stupid videos, or we can do reaction videos to whatever anybody's saying. I would do those. It would entertain me. Down for whatever. I will literally do anything. As I say, I'm personally looking forward to my Halloween stream, because I'm going to get a few friends together and just do Palace of the Dead, I think, and do it in Halloween based. I'm going to try and come up with some sort of like in-game cosplay I can do on my character while I'm also dressed up for Halloween out here, and hopefully that'll work. My shoulder. So right, I'm going to try this again. But yeah, there is a whole storyline to Palace of the Dead as well, which I haven't shown you on stream because I would class that as spoilers, and I do think if you are going to do Palace of the Dead, you probably should, and you should also pay attention to its little story. It's really sad. It ties into to some dungeons earlier on and some people you meet earlier on in the game as well. So it's one of those things that Final Fantasy does so well, where you meet characters and you have like side characters or whatever's happening, and they come back in a big way, and you don't notice it. And that's part of the reason why they make you do the Crystal Tower now at the end of A Realm Reborn, because the Crystal Tower, the raid, which I am going to do a full Crystal Tower run, I think. I'm going to do Labyrinth, I'm going to do Circus Tower, and I'm going to do World of Darkness all on stream, so you can see the three of them. And it comes way back into the story much later on. It ties back to it, and it's so good at doing that, and it does it for not just like main characters and not just like main story, but this Palace of the Dead. You meet the characters that are involved in the story of this. You meet them so early on, like so early on. I think you meet them outside the first dungeon, but I can't really remember. I'd have to double check. But then they have this whole storyline, and it all ties into Palace of the Dead. And I often find as well that when they do the Halloween events, they sometimes set them in here. Ah, it looks like Ban's back. We've got him back. We're gonna go again. So we've got this music. I'm pretty sure this music from Stormblood as well. So like hearing it now, it feels like it's too early for it to be there. So, as I said, to prove a point, oh, you do actually keep all of your different commanders as well, which is nice. Although if you do die, you do lose them all. So you'd have to go for it. So right now, we're going to Leroy Jenkins the crap out of this. So Ban's going to go pull everything, and me and him are going to die. That is the whole purpose of this right now. So you guys get to see it. Oh, thanks for the follow back. Really appreciate it. Really do. I'm always happy to receive followers. This is something that I've recently started doing. I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, and it was realistically just to get over a few issues of my own with body image and mental health and whatnot. And yeah, the fact that people are watching, the fact that people are here, the fact that people are enjoying it, and the fact that I've got as many followers as I do. I expected to do this and have literally nobody turn up, and I was just going to be sat here talking to myself, and I expect that every time that I come on here. So the fact that people are watching and the fact that people do seem to be enjoying it, it does make me feel a bit proud of myself, to be honest. How am I healing? Right, I think this is going to be enough. I think these guys, yep, I'm a frog. Okay, Ban's dead, and I'm a frog, so I'm going to get you. Here we go. Is that enough? Yep, there we go. Duty failed. So, this is going to kick us out. You can see how many floors we got through. It gives you a full results and your scores and whatnot. Hey, a new high score. It's not really. It's a new high score on Red Mage. But, if you go back into here, so now you would leave. So you go to Exit Palace of the Dead. And the next time we get to go in, if I go to enter the Palace of the Dead, you can see we're at floor 21 there. So there you go. And you get your little sprites and whatnot. That's the Gunbreaker one, that's Red Mage, that's Dark Knight there. So I'm going to skip back into my normal Dark Knight gear. Dark Knight, sorry, I'm going to skip back into my normal Red Mage gear. There you go. My take on the Red Mage. And there's Samurai Ban. And I think before we go, I'm going to go hit the Gold Saucer real quick. And we're going to go and do the scratch cards, because you never know, it could be me. I might win 10k on the Cackpot, and who doesn't love that? Unless one of the gates is up, in which case I'll do whatever gate's up as well. So you'll get to see that. But we've had a bit of a stop-start stream tonight, and I can only apologise for that. Kind of real-life things got in the way of it. What gate is up? We have Leap of Faith. I'll see if Ban fancies Leap of Faith. If not, I'll go on my own. And you'll get to see a grown man cry when I fall off the side a lot. I think everybody wants to see that. No worries. We'll remove button, and away we go. So, again, it surprises me how busy it is tonight, particularly with today being the New World release. New World is doing pretty well by all accounts. By all accounts, it's got a lot of players coming in, even though I did cancel my my pre-order of it myself because I kind of saw everything that I wanted to see when I did it in beta. And they haven't changed a lot since beta, they haven't added a lot of content since beta. I wasn't a fan of the combat. I don't really care much for the aesthetic of it as well. The whole sort of exploration age, like Spanish Conquistador style, not for me. If I'm doing an MMO, I much prefer it to be high fantasy. Maybe even with a touch of sci-fi, like a Final Fantasy XIV. Because, let's be honest, it does have spaceships. I can't argue with that. It's got actual, genuine spaceships in this game. Same as World of Warcraft is a high fantasy setting, but it also has the Draenei and the whole Draenei thing. And oh my god, this screen just got so bright. Wow, you can see all of my face there. That is, I apologise for that, because nobody needs to see that. So here we go. Hopefully it's not lagging so much because of all these people in here that you can't actually do anything. The worst part about it when it's this busy is you can't see the little platforms that you're trying to jump at. So you have to take a bit of a punt as to where you are. See what I mean? But I love the fact that the Gold Saucer has things like this in, and I think more games should endeavour to have like mini games within them like this because they are just fun. Let's have a look. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like I'm missing so many of them now, so I'm going to end up running back the way I came anyway. But look how busy this is. Like, I've been a Final Fantasy XIV player for a number of years now. I started when Leviathan was the primal at the time, like the trial at the time. And I love this game. I will say that I really do. I have a strong bias towards Final Fantasy XIV. The game has its issues. It does. Every game does. And people that won't listen to the fact that this game has its issues are, quite frankly, delusional. But they're also, like, there's a lot of sunk cost fallacy and stuff that goes into it. And I will say there's parts of this game that I don't like. There is. But overall, I love this game, and I'm so glad to see it doing well. It's one of those sort of games where it has just quietly gone about doing its own thing and making itself the best version of itself that it can be. And then suddenly there was obviously all the stuff with World of Warcraft and Blizzard, and I haven't actually touched on the lawsuit today, even though it was a really easy target because they've actually settled for 18 million for the first part of it. So part 1 of 4, they've settled for 18 million, but there's a whole lot of other lawsuits coming in. So there's a whole lot of things there. I genuinely thought it was 18 million for the whole thing and it was one and done, and I thought that was a slap on the wrist and they'd got away with one there, but it's not. But Final Fantasy XIV, anyway, is a game that has just quietly gone about. It knows what it does. It knows what it's about. It knows what it's good at. And it just does what it does, and it does it well. And you know what? Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't try to be something it's not. It doesn't try to be... It's not it's a theme park MMO, so it's not very sandbox. It's literally, you are on the rails, this is what you do. There's a lot of instance content, and I don't feel like it utilises its own world well enough. But that is a personal preference thing for me. I feel like I'm more of a... I will be more of a sandbox player when a sandbox MMO comes out that is good enough for me to play, because I would not consider New World as that game. I just wouldn't. So I'm looking forward to the game that I am waiting for, in case everybody hasn't heard me bang on about it before, is Ashes of Creation. I think Ashes of Creation looks incredible. I really love what they're trying. I love the fact that they're doing this their node system. Their node system for me is it is their big selling point, and I can see why, because the idea behind the node system is effectively taking the Guild Wars 2 the Guild Wars 2 event system, you know, where if you win, the event changes, if you lose, the event changes the world, and it changes the dynamic of the world, and it changes what you've got there. It's taken that to the extreme and doing it properly, and it really does look incredible. Like, if you haven't already seen it, there's a good video by the Lazy Peon called genuinely somewhat like genuinely the most exciting MMORPG at the moment, or whatever. I'll put a link to it in my Discord anyway, when I find it again. But genuinely, take a look at that, because it does a really good explanation of, like, broad strokes what it's about. And then if you really want to get into the more, like, nitty gritty and check that stuff out, there's a great website called Ashes 101 by a guy called Jalon, who isn't streaming at the moment. But if you listen to the start of my streams, when you see I'm using the music, the music for that is done by Paradox Gaming Network, which is Jalon, and he does it all DMCA free, so you can listen to it. It's really good, so I'd recommend that. But he does Ashes 101, which is like a really, like, classroom-esque. This is like the what Ashes is and how all the systems work and stuff. It's really good, so I'd recommend that. Anyway, let's see how we get on with the mini cackpot. I'm going to take this one at random. No idea what I'll get. 180. That'll do. Why not? Anyway, I am going to... In fact, you know what? Let's do this. This is the music I was telling you about, so I'm going to... skip back to this. We'll go back to this, and that is me with Final Fantasy XIV tonight. I really appreciate everybody that was part of the experience tonight, that was here watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As I say, I'll continue to sit here and produce content, and hopefully people will come and watch, and if they don't, I'll still be producing the content anyway, because this is all about me just having fun playing RPGs, and hopefully you guys having fun watching me play RPGs and MMORPGs. And I know I'm not the best player, I know I'm not doing the highest end content anymore. I used to be very good at this game. I used to do raids, I used to do all those sorts of things, but I don't anymore. I kind of lost the passion for doing all of that, and now I just much prefer coming at it from this angle, like almost like a sort of evaluation of the game is what I do these days. And before streaming, I'd really started to burn out of MMOs, and I was starting to get fed up with the genre, and I had no fire to be a part of it anymore. And because of streaming and because of that, it's rekindled my love of the genre, and it's reminded me, it's sort of letting me looking at it in a different perspective, and it's reminding me what it is about the MMOs that I love. The fact that all these players were online tonight, and there's people everywhere you go, and even if you're not doing content, you can just sit there in Limsa and talk to people and just have a good time, and that sort of interaction is something that I sorely miss in real life, and COVID really showed that to me. Like, I was going to work, and I still do it. I go to work, I walk my dog, I buy groceries, that's it. So the only interaction really I get with people and whatnot is via my MMOs, is via my Discord, is via this camera talking to you guys. And it's so weird that because we are a social species and stuff, it's so weird to me that I didn't realise how much of that I was missing. And how much of that was missing from a lot of my own decisions as well, like backing out of raid teams or losing contact with people, and I feel like a lot of that is on me. I feel like I should make more of an effort to talk to people, so here I am making an effort. And hopefully you guys appreciate this, because I definitely appreciate you being here. It means the world to us. So anyway, I'm going to call the stream there, and once again, thank you all for being part of it. If you haven't already, please follow the channel. I stream Thursdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, 7:30 till whenever I decide to finish, usually about 9 o'clock. Sometimes a bit later, depending on what I'm doing or how interesting it is and how well the chat's flowing. If the chat's really flowing at 9 o'clock, hell, I'll go at 10. I'll go at midnight. I'll be tired at work. I can get around that. I'm tired all the time anyway. I don't sleep. So I am going to call it now though, because I do want to speak to my wife, because I've not seen her tonight, and obviously I missed her, and I know it's quite sad to say that, but I did. So anyway, thank you again for watching. I appreciate you all. As I say, if you haven't already, please follow the channel. There's also a good link to oh yeah, you've turned up at a bad time, Senty. I'm actually just wrapping up, mate. I was gonna say, if you haven't already and you follow the channel, there's a link to my Discord as well if you want to be part of that server. I'm trying to build an actual community, not just my stream. Eventually I will have YouTube content coming out where it is going to be sort of like a travel channel, documentary style thing that I'm going to be doing within MMOs, where I'm going to show you the different areas, how they tie into their own game lore, and also the inspirations from our world. And eventually I would love to be able to use that as an excuse to go traveling. So you'll get to see me at the actual locations that inspired the location. I would love to do that. That is the dream, but we'll see how it goes. But this is me. I'm going to sign off now. I know I've said goodbye about 4 times now, but this time I actually mean it. Once again, thank you all for being part of this. It is so appreciated. Anyway, I'm going to borrow from Kira TV here, and we out. Peace.